been everywhere, man, looking for someone who can please me, love me all night long. I've been everywhere, man, looking for you, babe, searching for you, babe. Where have you been? 'Cause I never see you out. Are you hiding from me? Yeah. Somewhere in the I've been everywhere, man, looking for someone who.
Somebody's choking you aggressively, they're not going to be alarmed or think that you're going to do anything from bringing your hands to the pain. Okay, so they're going to be alarmed by that. My opposite side hand is going to grab her wrist, and I'm going to grab it high. So some people will go down here when they say wrist. I want to grab it high, almost like it's between the hand and the wrist. It's just more control there. So I grab her wrist right next to her hand. This hand is gonna come in and peel one or more fingers. Doesn't matter how many I get, so don't concentrate on how many you have. The more the better sometimes, but I'll explain why. All the nerve endings are right at the fingertips. So if you squeeze the fingertips together, like it's popsicle sticks that you don't want to drop, it's gonna hurt worse when I do this. So the next thing I wanna do is I wanna shove her elbow into her side, and that makes it to where if I do it out here, it's gonna take a lot longer to make it happen. If I shove her elbow into her waist and make this circle a lot smaller, it's gonna happen a lot faster. So the drop happens pretty fast when you do it right. So hand comes in, grabs the wrist right where the hand meets the wrist. This hand's gonna come around and grab one or more fingers, right at the fingertips. So I'm not way down here on the hand, I'm like here. So I'm like halfway off the fingertips. I squeeze them as hard as I can, push her elbow into her waist, and then it's a circle. I'm making a circle right here. Like I'm trying to make her fingertips touch the inside of her elbow. And then you can just follow up with a knee to the face.
In India, this kind of mirror is actually made of mud. Not only can the light shine after polishing, the selling price is exorbitant. A mirror can even sell for thousands of dollars. Why can we sell at sky-high prices? Yes, this kind of mirror has a characteristic, it can shock physicists. Its material is very ordinary. One is the clay on the roof, smash them and turn them into fine powder. The second is their sacks of earth, cut it into pieces with a knife and add it to the clay. Mix the two kinds of things with the soil in the rice field, grind into mud paste while adding water, put the ground mud into the round mold, make the shape of a mirror. The mirror needs to be dried in the sun for 3 to 4 days. After the disc is completely dry, the ground is paved with fine loess, then grind the disc in circles on the loess. This process seems simple. In fact, we need technology very much. Once she feels it's smooth, start smearing the disc with wet charcoal until the carbon powder closes all pores on the mud surface. The disc will be smoother. This delicate work she only believes in her hand. The next step of casting was done by her son. He put 3 small pieces of metal on the edge of the disc, then put another mud disc on it. In this way, a thin smooth gap is formed in the middle. After a while, the metal flowed into the gap will form the shape of a mirror. This method came from 500 years ago, when their ancestors made a crown for the king. An alloy was discovered by accident. After polishing, you can take a completely undistorted portrait. After that, this formula has been handed down from generation to generation. Put the metal into the mold opening, seal with a damp cloth, then lay a layer of mud on the outside. Make a dry pot, put the dry pan into the oven, then fill it with coconut shells. Shake the blower evenly, let the dry pot burn at a high temperature of 1200 degrees for 1 hour. He judged the melting degree of metal by listening to the sound. When all melted, she took the dry pot out of the fire and cool with wet wet clay by hand, then slowly reverse. She let the alloy solution flow into the space between the discs to check for success. To open the top of the mold, if you can see the metal, it means success, but there are also many failures. The next day, knock open the mold, take out the mirror in the middle. Today's mirrors can't reflect light. It takes several rounds of polishing to shine. She knocked out the extra part first. Extra care should be taken in this process, because the size of the mirror determines its price. A set of mirrors costs from $20 to $1300. One of the most popular is the handheld makeup mirror. The brass frame is also completely handmade, sand casting, and the patterns are all hand carved. She first polished the mirror with fine sandpaper. This time it's more detailed than before. Her craft is the best in the area. The mirror can be sold at the highest price. Then put a few drops of coconut oil on the mirror. Continue to polish on the cotton cloth until you can clearly see yourself. Then frame the mirror. Then pour in the adhesive made of wax and sand. It is strong and will not rust. Then polish it with coconut oil and velvet. After several rounds of polishing, you can pack and ship. Ordinary mirrors will have a certain degree of distortion under the light. It's like a self-contained filter. But this kind of alloy polished mirror can reflect your most real appearance.